We'll talk about that.
It's quite poor. Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Ian. This channel's all about music and art, and in this video what I'm actually doing is I'm doing some work on my turntable. So here we have a Thorens TD180 turntable. It'll play 33, 45 and 78, although I don't have a 78 Stylus. And I recently changed the cartridge. So the cartridge in it now is an Ortofon 5 E5 or something like that it's called. But what I noticed was that when setting it up, the arm alignment isn't right now. So what we're going to do is I want to show you how it looks now, and then we're going to change this bit. The reason we're changing this bit is that normally what you would do with other turntables, there would be some adjustment at the back of the arm to be able to lift or lower the arm pivot, the arm point. We can't do that here. This whole bit is fixed. So the only thing we can do is we can adjust the height of the stylus and the cartridge. Now, having said that, when I bought the cartridge, it didn't come with any little plastic blocks to add to this, so I've had to buy them separately. So here we have a set of very, very expensive plastic blocks. You'll see if you're looking there, there's different thicknesses. So we need to check the thickness. This is from a company called the Vinyl Source, not sponsored. And these are ridiculously expensive. I mean, these were £17 for, I think it's 4 little plastic blocks. Absolutely ludicrous price. I can't find them any cheaper. But they do all sorts of this type of stuff, really. So it's very niched in some extent, that because you have an issue with this particular type of turntable, this won't be the only turntable that has this problem. But you know they are extorting large amounts of money for what is basically 4 pieces of plastic, which probably costs less than 2p to make. The other thing you need as well, because it only comes with one set of, if you like, fixed bolts. So I've had to buy a whole separate set of bolts. Now these bolts, I bought these on Amazon. I can't remember how much they are. I'll put the price in. But I couldn't just buy 3 or 4 bolts. I've had to buy a whole bag of different sizes. So it's worth noting that you may have to do that to get the right height once we've actually decided on what we're doing with the actual height of the arm. So let's get on with putting a record on it, looking at where the height of the arm is now, and then from there we'll take it and we'll fix it. Right, so to start, the turntable is switched off because you can't, or unplugged. And because the way this turntable works is, as soon as you lift the arm over, it sets the motor going. So we need to make sure that it's switched off. And what we do need is we need a cartridge alignment gauge. Now I've got 3 which I've acquired over the years. Now these things, and I'll put a link in down below. This is what they're used for. They're used for aligning the cartridge properly, and we'll have to do that again at the end because we're going to move the cartridge. Obviously, take it when we put the little shims. We'll call them shims, the little blocks in. So I've got that one. I've got a very, very old one, which that's actually by an ALT1, which is a tone arm, one that came with a particular tone arm, and I have one that I think must have come free with Hi-Fi Choice. And as it says here, it's about sorting out your tracking error. But what they have got is they've got a straight line. So we need something with a straight line. That one actually, when it sits, is actually is too high and doesn't really work that well. We sort of need to do this on a record so we can see. And I've picked a record that is quite old and doesn't matter if we scratch it now. But you can see that the arm is, it won't stay there, but it's pointing, oops. The arm is moving downwards. I hope you can see that. Might be better if I try one of the other ones. Will that stay? Yeah, right, okay. So there you can see that the arm is moving. We've got the horizontal line and the arm is actually moving down. So what we need to do is we need to put the shim in there, obviously, and we need to get it to probably about that sort of height. So we probably need quite a big one to make it so that the arm is level. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Just to, I don't know whether this will be showing any better. Not really. We can't actually see the line. The line is sort of going through where would be the middle of the arm. So that one is the best to be able to show it, I think. And that's really why these alignment gauges have, I mean, you could probably do it with a ruler, actually, but you are going to need an alignment protractor when you come to set the actual cartridge and the stylus. So it's something that you should have in your armory of hi-fi turntable stuff. We'll just start dismantling the cartridge. So as you see, it's doing this is very, very fiddly. So I need to sort of hold it. I haven't put the screws in yet because I've picked the thickest of the shims. And let's just see how the height looks there. Well, according to that, it is still not quite level. It needs to go up a bit more. So I am going to have to put 2 shims in. And then change the bolts as well because they're... Right. So we'll try again. And I need to sort of hold it. No, that looks spot on now. I'm on the record. Now, obviously I haven't got a record on, but I'm going to I've just done it with the Stylus cover on, which should sort of be the thickness of a record, but we're going to just check it finally with a record. But I'm going to put a screw in that. I'm going to put one of the bolts in and hold it there so that I don't have to now this is the fiddly bit, and there goes my Stylus cover. Protect the Stylus at all costs. So there we are, we've got screws on. We'll roughly put it into place where it's going to be. We'll check it again with the Stylus cover, and then we'll check it with the record. So I'm going to take a photograph of that so that you can see it. And you'll see that if I lift it up slightly, because it's not level, but you can see that the alignment is straight. So, and then when I look down straight at it, the arm is going straight across. We'll double check that with the protractor that's higher. It's too high, but so that we're looking at the line of it. And that's looking good. Final check before we actually screw the holding back together is to put a record on and do the same again. So let's just lift this out of the way. Here's our record that we don't care about. Take the Stylus cover off. I've just about to lose it all. And put that on the record. Now I know that it's not straight, but let's have a look. Well, interestingly, now that I've actually put it on a record and the Stylus cover is off, it still looks to me like it's going slightly, the arm is still going slightly down. Let's try and take a picture. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to put all 4 shims in, because the other 2 shims are very thin. But I think that that's going to give us just the right height when it's on the record. So, interesting fact there that doing it with the Stylus cover didn't really help, because it looked fine with the Stylus cover. The minute you put it on a record, it would still be slightly off. So, Stylus cover back on. And we'll add the other shims.